Hello, my dear students. Welcome back.
It's your very own Rajan sir here. And I know, the exams are just around the corner. But bilkul chinta nahi karna. We are going to revise this chapter so well, you'll be answering every question like an absolute champion.
So tell me, is that small confusion between locomotion and movement still bothering you a little bit? Or maybe that big, scary sounding name, sliding filament theory, is making you tense? Hey, tension nahi lene ka, because today we're going to make everything crystal clear.
Okay, let's jump right in. The first step to getting full marks is to make sure our basics are super strong. So, what's the real difference between movement and locomotion? Let's figure it out. Movement is, well, it's super simple. Right now, as you're watching this, you're blinking your eyes, right? Maybe you're moving your jaw a little. Even if you just twitch your fingers, that's a movement. It's basically any change in the position of any part of your body. Easy peasy. Now, locomotion. Think of it as a special type of movement. It's the kind of movement that actually changes your location, your place. So when you walk from your room to the kitchen for a snack, that's locomotion. Running, swimming, jumping, that's all locomotion. And here it is, the golden statement. My dear students, please write this down, highlight it, put a star next to it. All locomotions are movements, but all movements are not locomotions. Think about it. When you walk, your legs are moving and you're also changing your place. But when you're just sitting and blinking your eyes, your eyelids are moving, but you're not going anywhere, right? Perfect sense. So what's powering all this action? It's our body's own engines, our muscles. We've got three main types, and trust me, knowing their differences is a sure-shot way to nail those multiple-choice questions. This table makes it so easy. Look, skeletal muscles, like your biceps, are attached to your skeleton. You can choose to flex them, so they're voluntary. The visceral muscles, they're in your stomach, your intestines. They work automatically. You don't have to think, okay, time to digest food. No, so they're involuntary. And cardiac means heart, which is also involuntary. Thank goodness we don't have to remember to make our heart beat, right? This table is super important for your MCQs. All right, now for the main event, the sliding filament theory. I know, the name sounds complicated, but forget the name, just imagine it's a little story. A tiny, microscopic tug of war that's happening inside your muscles millions of times every single day. Every story needs a stage, doesn't it? Well, this is our stage. It's called a sarcomere. This is the basic, fundamental unit of our muscle. And this is exactly where our whole contraction story takes place. And who are the actors on our stage? Meet our two main characters, our protein superstars. We have the thin filament, called actin, and the thick filament, called myosin. Just think of them as the two teams in our tug-of-war game. So how does this tug-of-war actually happen? It's like one of those super fast Instagram transition reels, It happens in a flash. First, the brain sends a signal, zap. Second, this signal releases our hero, calcium. Third, this calcium lets the myosin heads grab onto the actin rope, forming what we call a cross bridge. And fourth, the power stroke. Myosin pulls actin towards the center. Boom! That's it. That's a muscle contraction. And here you can see the result of that tug of war. Just compare the two pictures. On the left, the muscle is relaxed. On the right, after contraction, you can see the whole sarcomere has gotten shorter. The thin actin filaments have been pulled inwards. Now, this is a very, very important point for your exam. The filaments themselves don't get shorter. They just slide over each other. Okay, exam alert. Imagine the question paper asks you for 3 marks. Define the sliding filament theory. Don't you panic, you already know the whole story. Now let's just frame it in the perfect words to get those full marks. Ready? Pay close attention. And there it is, the perfect, simple, textbook definition. The sliding filament theory states that muscle contraction occurs when the thin actin filaments slide over the thick myosin filaments. That's all. Just write this and your examiner will be very, very happy. Awesome. Now that we know how our muscles work, let's quickly look at the framework that they're attached to, our very own skeletal system. How many bones are in an adult human body? Come on, you all know this one. Yes, it is 206, a number you should never, ever forget. Let's start right from the top. The skull. It's like our brain's own personal high-security helmet. It's made of 22 bones all fused together to give maximum protection to our most important organ. Next up, we have the rib cage, which is another super important protective structure for our delicate heart and lungs. Now, listen carefully, because this is a very common exam topic. The first 7 pairs are called true ribs. Pairs 8, 9, and 10 are false ribs, and the last 2 pairs, 11 and 12, are the floating ribs because they don't connect to the front. Make sure you remember this. So we have the bones, we have the muscles, but how do they actually create movement? That's where the magic happens, at the joints. These are the connection points where all the action is. Okay, this slide is pure gold for a quick revision. Let's do this together. The ball and socket joint in your shoulder. Go on, rotate your arm around. See that? Full circle motion. Now the hinge joint in your knee. It only lets you bend it in one direction, just like a door hinge. And the pivot joint in your neck? That lets you turn your head to say no. If you connect these movements to the names, I promise you'll never forget them. This is a very high-yield topic. We're almost at the finish line. This last part is a quick-fire round on disorders. These usually come as one-mark questions, so let's make sure we score every single one of them. All right, let's lock these keywords in our brains. Arthritis starts with an A for achy inflammation of the joints. Osteoporosis has porous in it, which means holes, so think weak, holy bones. Gout is caused by sharp uric acid crystals, ouch. And for the last 2, just remember, myasthenia gravis is muscle weakness, while muscular dystrophy is muscle degeneration. Got it? Get those keywords down and you are all set. So you see, everything we learned today is happening inside your body right this second. The next time you simply wave to a friend, just for a moment, remember that incredible microscopic story. The signal from your brain, the calcium rushing in, actin and myosin doing their tug-of-war, and your joints allowing that beautiful movement. It's truly amazing, isn't it? All the very best for your exams, my dear students. You are going to do wonderfully. Now go and rock it.